open yet for a second. Okay. Okay, cool.
Miguel over here just kissing spirit.
This is the value of
6'2"
wrestling,
spirit.
the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
And we are back for another weekly roundup right here on the value of YouTube. On the value of YouTube, the value of wrestling on YouTube. I know I can talk. I swear I can talk. We are gonna get this done. You know who I am. I am the one, the only. I am the Big Tyme. Yes, I'm back. And of course, joining me as always, right here to what would be my left. You know who he is. Oh, you know, and then we got our master of New Japan Pro Wrestling, the one, the only.
Miguel Z.
All right, and we are live for another weekly roundup. Everything is looking good, and we are ready to go. And we'll start off with Monday Night Raw. All right. Raw kicks off with Jey Uso. He says he's glad to be out of the bloodline on Monday Night Raw. Kevin Owens erupts and says Jey Uso's now on the Kevin Owens show. Kevin tries to empathize with Uso, saying he's been where Jey has been. Kevin says it took him a while to make it up for all the bad things he did. Kevin says Jey has a long way to go before he earns his respect. Before we get Judgment Day interrupting, and a tag match is set between Kevin Owens and Jey Uso against the tag team champions of Finn Balor and Damian Priest. So we get a match between Judgment Day, fairly good match, where they go over on Kevin Owens and Jey Uso after Jey Uso hits Kevin Owens with a super kick by accident. In the back, Raquel Rodriguez is getting ready for a championship match tonight, and Natalya greets her. Of course, we're also backstage. We get Kevin Owens and Jey Uso arguing backstage after the show. When we come back, we have Imperium dressed to the nines. In the back, The Miz walks to the ring. We get a quick 9-11 package. And then we get a match between Miz and Akira Tozawa. Decent little match. That's what you expect. The Miz goes over Akira Tozawa. Byron Saxton has an interview with Raquel Rodriguez. She does her normal thing, nothing impressive. And then we get the Imperium heading to the ring to celebrate Gunther's record-breaking Intercontinental Championship celebration. Shayna Baszler commends Zoe Stark for her effort last week in an interview with Jackie Redmond. Chelsea Green interrupts her and tries to pawn off the other half of the Tag Team Championships on her. Baszler instead challenges her to a match, and Piper Niven shows up and realizes that she's medically cleared. Gunther's in the ring celebrating his record-breaking run. He gets interrupted by Chad Gable. Gable reflects on his daughter's crying last week. Gable says that his fire will not burn out until he defeats Gunther for the title. Gunther says that Gable is a failure of a father. They get physical. Otis comes to the ring and evens the odds a little bit until Tommaso Ciampa hits the ring with the chair to make the save. Backstage, Tommaso Ciampa says he was looking to seize the moment. Otis wants a six-man tag. Gable agrees, and Ciampa walks off. We get footage displayed of Xavier Woods and Drew McIntyre getting into a conversation. Xavier says Drew is jealous of Kofi because Kofi won the WWE Championship in front of a crowd, and Drew won it in front of nobody. Drew McIntyre goes over on Kofi Kingston in a good match. eventually Cody Rhodes coming out and is interrupted by JD McDonough and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Dom tag now against Cody, and they have a double team off. Eventually, Cody dumps Dunna out of the ring and hits a crossroads in the suit on Dominic Mysterio. Drew McIntyre confronts Jey Uso backstage and tells him he doesn't trust him. Uso offers to have a match with him next week. Shayna wins her match against Chelsea Green, and after the match, Piper jumps in the ring and starts exchanging blows with Baszler. Zoe Starks comes in to even the odds, and they take out Chelsea, and Piper bails. We get another wonderful vignette from Shinsuke Nakamura of him questioning Seth Rollins' honor. Seth Rollins is now in the ring. He says the fans don't expect him to be a good guy or a bad guy. He offers Nakamura a world title shot. Nakamura does not come out. Instead, he beats up Ricochet in the backstage area and says he knows that Seth isn't cleared, and sets up a match between Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura next week on Monday Night Raw. Finn Balor approaches Jey Uso, saying the Judgment Day's door is always open. Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton have a contract signing in Adam Pearce's office. Becky says Tiffany can try to make her name off of Becky's reputation. Tiffany says she has no problem doing that and that she's the greatest champion of all time. Tiffany and Becky are set to square off for the NXT Women's Champion in the main event of tomorrow night's NXT. Rhea Ripley also promises Judgment Day she'll handle business. And then we get Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Yeah, no. He'd have to. So we got Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley for the World Championship. And eventually we get Nia Jax in the ring. Or she attacks Raquel Rodriguez outside, hitting a Samoa drop on the padding on the outside. And then after Rhea Ripley pins Raquel Rodriguez, gets the win, and Nia Jax gets in the ring, headbutts Rhea Ripley, and then does a horrible bonsai, and then paintbrushes Rhea Ripley after the match. And that is how Raw ended. Raw was decent until the end. Raw went to shit as soon as all that happened.
Okay. Can I ask the honest question? Who was clamoring for Nia Jax?
Nobody.
Not a bloody person.
Like, honestly, I mean, if there was gonna be a return, well, first we need to state that this is the last McMahon era Raw, and this is the best they can give us.
I think it ended. The way it ended was horrible. It was a decent Raw, but then when you had Nia Jax come out and do that, and then she hit a horrible bonsai drop, and then the stupid paintbrush made no sense. Anyways, it was. I don't know. It was a whole mess in itself. I don't know why we even had her back on TV.
Yeah, and then to go back with the Tiffany Stratton statement. One, not the greatest champ. Asuka would be the one you would put as the flag bearer because she left undefeated. No one beat her for that belt.
Respect.
So, I mean, going forward, I mean, she's got the match coming up with Becky. So it's a make or break moment for Becky, honestly. At the end of that.
Well, Becky won at NXT, so Becky is the new NXT Women's Champion.
Well, yeah, true. But I was leading into the obvious. We knew that.
Well, we don't really cover it.
Yeah, that's true too. Oh, that's right. That's right. But still, honest question about that, real quick. How do you feel about her winning the belt? I mean, was it a good move for NXT, or should they have put it on someone else?
I think it's a good move because it gives Becky Lynch the Grand Slam. They keep Becky looking the man, and of course, when she gives the belt back to Tiffany Stratton, it'll make sense. But also with the fact that WWE is pushing to make NXT a brand instead of just being a developmental brand, That's the image they want to get. To do that, they're going to have to do things like give titles to Becky Lynch and other people that are going to go over there. Like Dominic has the North American title. It's going to get eyes over there, and they're trying to make it another brand instead of just a developmental brand. That's stuff they're going to have to do.
Well, they should have. If that's what they wanted in the first place, they should have left it alone from the get-go because it was its own entity before certain individuals got their hands on it.
Well, the powers to be at the time decided to take it over and make it a mess. Then the powers to be got out, and they Shawn and Triple H are trying to make it back to what it is. But the rumor is now they're trying to make it its own brand, and it looks like it's going to be moved back to Wednesday nights, and we're going to restart the Wednesday Night Wars. That's the other reason they're trying to make it an actual brand instead of a developmental.
Okay, and then I know I feel like I'm talking a lot, but a lot of stuff been racking my brain on my notes. Gunther breaking the record. I'm for it. The man deserved it. That record needed to be broken.
It is what it is.
I got to ask you what that story is pertaining to Honky Tonk.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not bashing the man, but he was very. When I went to a con to meet him, he was very. He pulled a Virgil, so to speak.
Ooh.
And I walked away. I wasn't gonna put money down for someone who had an attitude like that. And I was just honestly, giving credit where credit is due. Hey, man, you were one of the greats. I don't think everyone's ever gonna beat that record. And he just kind of shined it off and total egomaniac, so to speak.
Gunther beating the record's a good thing. It helps build Gunther. But, I mean, again, it looks like Chad Gable's going to win the title back. When? I guess it's going to be on the next episode unless they're going to – I don't know why they're not pushing it for a pay-per-view match.
They should. It should be a pay-per-view match.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not building stuff for Fastlane because it kind of seems like they're not doing much to get Fastlane going, especially since we have Fastlane and then we have a crown jewel coming in before Survivor Series.
And not everyone's on that card either.
No,
because there's a lot of people that aren't going to be able to travel or just don't want to go.
Yeah, well, a lot of the people that couldn't used to travel are able to travel now. We saw Sami Zayn there last time, so who knows who's going to be there and how they're going to build it. So,
going to get a title change like when the Fiend took it off Rollins.
Okay, anything else about Monday night we want to talk about?
No, overall, like you said, good show, and then the end just felt flatter than, just on a plate.
How is it in the Austin era we had a can of whoop ass with Nia Jax? We just have a can of mess.
I don't even know. I mean, Stevie Richards even did a review of this, and for the first time in my life, I'm agreeing with Stevie Richards that this was a mess. This was a botch. This looked horrible. It did not come off. It didn't do anything for anybody. If Nia Jax would have just attacked Raquel Rodriguez, she would have been a heel. We would have known what was going to go on. You would have had Raquel Rodriguez as for Nia Jax, and, we could have moved on with Rhea Ripley facing somebody else. The fact that she went in there and headbutted Rhea Ripley could have been okay if they ended the show there, but after they did that horrible bonsai drop and made Yokozuna roll over in his grave, and then the fact that she sat back on her and paintbrushed her like this was all a freaking joke, I might get her off my TV now. I mean, no. The bonsai was bad, but when she paintbrushed Rhea like that was just, it was uncalled for and unprofessional in my eyes because there was no reason. It doesn't do anything but make Rhea look bad and just make the whole thing look stupid. I mean, why did you... That's what pissed me off about it more than anything is that Rhea paintbrushed her like she did because it had no reason. That was just like, it was almost like a shoot. Like she just wanted to be stupid and be like, ha, I'm back. And yeah.
Yeah, you want me to really piss you off? Tell me why WWE's Twitter had the nerve to ask who did the bonsai drop better, Yokozuna or Nia Jax?
Well,
I know they're looking for engagement, but that is just the stupidest question ever.
Oh, I made my statement clear. I said, how dare you put her name even anywhere near a legend like Yokozuna? She shouldn't even be in the conversation.
They need to stop that because good old Yoko or Rodney is going to roll over in his grave, and we're going to have an earthquake somewhere, and it's just going to be bad news.
Oh, yeah.
And not even John Tenta can help that.
I don't know why she was there. I mean, if she's coming back, great. If she was going to feud with Raquel Rodriguez, fine. I get that she wants to be here for a championship, but she made herself look stupid. Like there was nothing in the end of that makes me want to go, oh, she looks like a badass, or oh, she looks like a threat for the title, or anything. Granted, yeah, she looks like she's lost a little bit of weight, but the bullshit she pulled in the ring was just that. It was that. It was, yeah.
And the crowd goes mild.
That's how I feel. I'm just gonna beep her name out from now on.
There we go.
Or we can do this, right? We should tell her to
True or do not. There is no try.
So, anyways, that was Raw. That was Raw, and Raw was a hot mess. I mean, it was decent, but it ended in a hot mess. I mean, that killed any momentum Raw may have had.
Yeah, especially going out on the notes too.
But moving on. Let's talk about Dynamite.
Woohoo!
Where did it? It was there, and then it went back to the top of the page. Stop going back to the top of the page. All right. AEW Dynamite. We started off with the International Champion, Jon Moxley, taking on Big Bill. Moxley goes over. Bryan Danielson came out to neutralize the interference of Ricky Starks. Moxley got the victory with a triangle hold. Claudio comes down to strengthen the odds for the BCC in a post-match fight. Good old Roddy there is in an interview about his match tonight Roddy is in an interview about his match tonight with Renee Paquette. Adam Cole interrupts and wants Roddy to reconsider this match with Samoa Joe. Don Callis announces that Takeshita announces that Takesha's next target is Kota Ibushi. Comes out to a new picture, a new piece of artwork with Kota Ibushi in there. He says that Takesha will henceforth be known as the Alpha, and says Kenny will watch the destruction of his living, breathing heart like the cuck that he is. Alex Marvez interviews Bryan Danielson, and he challenges Ricky Starks and Big Bill to meet him and Claudio Castagnoli on Saturday night on Collision. Alex tries to ask Moxley and Claudio about their championship matches next week. And Rey Fenix comes into the frame with hostility and says he will take the title from Moxley next week. During the chaos, as security separates Mox and Phoenix, Eddie Kingston enters the frame and stares down Claudio. Back from break, Renee Paquette is interviewing Hook, and Orange Cassidy cuts off the interview. Orange Cassidy says Hook shouldn't be mad because he has a championship to defend. He tells Renee that he's still so very tired. In the Grand Slam Women's Title 4-way elimination bout, Toni Storm defeated Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, and Hikaru Shida. So we'll get Toni Storm versus Saray at Grand Slam next week on Dynamite. Renee Paquette interviews Saray. Ruby Soho is back to dark brown hair. Saray says that last year at this time, Toni Storm was a women's champion, but now she is. And she's lost everything to her. And next week, Toni Storm will lose the match to her as well. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara talk about their match next week. Jericho reflected on wanting to get Sammy Guevara signed back in 2018 after watching him in NWA 70. Guevara says he needs to beat Jericho to become one of the top stars in the company. Both men agree that they will give it all they've got. Footage from last week's focuses on MJF caring for his injured neck. He cuts a promo on Roderick Strong, continuing to insist that he shakes it off like the bland bitch he is. Max promises to choke out Joe if they wrestle, and then does a wonderful interpretation of Scott Steiner math to make everyone's interest in this potential MJF or Samoa Joe match. Hangman defeats Brian Cage in what was a really good match. Page shifts his focus to Swerve Strickland in a post-match interview promo. Swerve Strickland and it's announced that Hangman and Swerve Strickland will face off at Wrestle Dream. Cage spikes Page from behind, and the Young Bucks save the day. They super kick at Dancing Prince Nana. Daniel Garcia mentions in the interview that he dances and it's becoming viral and his career is rising. Don Callis approaches him, apparently trying to recruit Garcia by buttering up. Garcia dances and goes away without saying anything. So we got the Dancing Garcia man now. Isn't that great?
Hey, my son does that dance on the way to the room now.
On the September 15, 2023 episode of AEW Rampage, Jake Cargill will battle for the TBS Championship against the current champion, Chris Statlander. Darby Allin and Nick Wayne defeated Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus watched the match from the announce table. Christian Cage challenges Darby and Sting to meet him and Luchasaurus next week. In the AEW Grand Slam World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals, Samoa Joe beats Roderick Strong. After the match, Joe promises to take everything away from Maxwell next week. Roderick Strong initially refuses neck breaks, but as soon as Adam Cole comes down and he falls to the ring, acting like his neck hurts and starts crying, Adam! 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 They bring out the stretcher board to carry him out. As Adam keeps stretching, the Kingdom insists that it's all Adam's fault that this is going on. As they bicker back and forth, the Kingdom walk out off ramp, and Adam Cole's on the ramp as Samoa Joe comes up behind Adam Cole and starts choking him out in a coquina clutch, puts him to sleep, and tells Maxwell he's taken everything from him. And that was Dynamite. Any comments?
James Cargill, anyone?
Well, Jake, it was only announced that her match is on Rampage, so I mean there wasn't much Jade Cargill on Dynamite.
This Adam Roderick Strong love story. I'm done. I'm done.
I was done when this
He sounds like a 16-year-old girl that just broke up with her. I would say her 15-year-old boyfriend.
Well, that's what I was saying last week. I was done with it last week.
I got nothing.
I don't care. You come in my face, I'm going to fight you.
I got nothing. I think that's it for me.
SmackDown.
All right, let's get
Yes,
on to
please. Let's bring it.
SmackDown, which was the biggest show of the night, or the biggest show of the week. Why are we back here? Damn it. Quit going back to the top automatically. SmackDown opens to the beautiful music of Let's Go! And Pat McAfee is there, and I always have to wonder, did they ever tell Michael Cole when Pat McAfee is going to be there? Because his reaction when Pat McAfee comes to the arena seems so natural, because this dude flips. I mean, you want to talk about a love affair. I think there's a bromance between Adam Cole and Pat McAfee, or at least it's a one side. I mean, I think Michael Cole might just be smitten with Pat McAfee, because the way this fool goes off when Pat McAfee comes out of the arena. It's the only time
I've actually I've heard he doesn't. They don't tell him.
Oh, I believe it. The way he goes off, it goes nuts when Pat McAfee comes down, and
I don't tell him.
And then they give Pat McAfee the mic. He goes on to talk about everything, and Michael Cole doesn't say anything. Like, you don't hear the announce table for the first 30 minutes of the show, which was really crazy. Anyways, Pat McAfee opens his show. He was on ESPN earlier doing a Pat McAfee show live from the University of Colorado, talking about the University of Colorado with the new Coach Prime, or Primetime Deion Sanders. If you don't know, go read your history. Anyways, University of Colorado making big names, big splashes in college football right now, so they were there. Not only were they there, did you have Coach Prime, Aaron Rodgers was on there. You even had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the Pat McAfee show in Colorado. So it was a big deal. So what did we get? We got Pat McAfee in Colorado where SmackDown was shooting live. Pat McAfee comes out and talks up the show and everything going on until Austin Theory, who seemingly, for whatever reason, decided to dress like Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee took it as a compliment that he was dressing like him. They bar back and forth. Theory says, this is Austin Theory live, and Pat McAfee goes, no, this is a people's show. Do you know what that means? And then the most electrifying music in sports entertainment hits, and we get The Rock.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I'm going to drink a big glass of milk.
And so The Rock comes down. And Theory tried to talk smash to The Rock, but The Rock shut him down. Got the crowd to chant, shut your bitch ass up, one side or the other, flipped it around. Oh, or you're an asshole chant. So you got that all down. Then he finally dropped Theory with a spine buster, hit the people's elbow, then tell Pat McAfee to do it. Pat McAfee hit at people's elbow. And that was the first 20 to 30 minutes of the show. SmackDown is hot just on that, just on Theory. Nothing speculated. The Rock showed up. Now the rumor mill's going nuts about what that could mean. From there, we got Finn Balor with Dominic and with Dirty Dominic and Senior Money in the Bank Damian Priest. Finn Balor went one-on-one with AJ Styles. He was able to get the victory over AJ Styles as Jimmy Uso came to the apron to distract Styles, allowing Balor to get a schoolboy roll-up for the win. Backstage, some more of The Rock. The Rock was backstage with Pat McAfee before confronting John Cena. The Rock and Cena had to stare down until The Rock told Cena he's smiling. They hugged it out like old friends. Balor's with Jimmy Uso backstage, with Balor offering Jimmy Uso a spot into Judgment Day, but Jimmy politely declined. Heyman watched from the corner, lurking like only Heyman can. Next, we get the LWO in the ring. The Mysterio thanking the crowd, and Escobar then got to the side for whatever reason also. Mysterio was dressed in street gear. The tag team of Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde were dressed in ring gear, and Santos Escobar was dressed in a suit, and Selena Vega was doing her best bunny impression, and not AEW bunny, but she was dressed as a bunny. And no, I don't want to lose my head to Tommy Inn, so I will shut up right now on that one. Anyways,
no. Let's not go there.
No, I don't want to be hunted down by Tommy Inn. I'm afraid he would kick my head off, and I like my head where it is, so we'll leave that where it is. But anyways, all respect, she did look good. I will say that she did look good in her bunny outfit. Don't be mad. Don't hate the play. I hate the game. You know how it says. Anyways, Escobar then got to the side and politely challenged Mysterio. They hinted at this weird Mysterio's like, oh, after all this is what you want? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to give you a match. So we're going to get Mysterio and Escobar fighting for the U.S. title, I guess, on some SmackDown. They didn't really give me information on when that match is going. It doesn't sound like they're building to Fastlane, their next pay-per-view, but hey, let's just give away title matches on TV. Tony Khan does it. WWE might as well do it. Why not? Eventually, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits come down, and they come to the ramp. They make fun of the LWO and passively-aggressively, which led to Wilde and Del Toro to challenge them to a tag match. And now we're actually getting to see maybe the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley and what's really going to happen there. The Street Profits pick up a very good win over the LWO. Dawkins and Ford attacked Wilde and Del Toro after the match.
I think that was from my end. I'm sorry.
Okay. Dawkins and Ford attacked Wilde and Del Toro after the match, which was followed by Lashley attacking Escobar. Lashley stared down Mysterio, but was caught with a jab by Dawkins. Mysterio was caught with a jab by Dawkins. So, looks like the Street Profits and LWO might have a feud coming. We'll see how Bobby Lashley plays into that, and we'll see what happens. From there, we got the rematch of LA Knight.
With everybody saying,
yeah.
LA Knight.
LA Knight and The Miz, and this time LA Knight got another win over The Miz, and of course, I don't know if that's his second biggest match of his career, but hey, he got a win over The Miz. LA Knight got on the microphone afterward and cut a promo as the crowd cheered for the former Impact World Champion. Knight said that he was looking for gold, and it didn't matter if it was Gunther, Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, or even the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. So LA Knight making his pitch for a title match. Where will that happen? How will that happen? We'll have to wait and see. Backstage, Solo Sikoa asked Paul Heyman if he had come for night, but Heyman told Sikoa to focus on Jimmy Uso unless Roman Reigns gave the order. Sikoa said that he knew what he had to do before stating that he would end things tonight. Heyman immediately called Reigns in a panic. Pretty Deadly were backstage with Adam Pearce. Prince said that he still remembers the pain inflicted by Ridge Holland. Pearce says Prince why he was in a wheelchair despite it getting a shoulder injury, to which Prince and Wilson responded with a rant at Pearce. Wilson said that he would bring a training program for Prince to come back. Bayley and Dakota Kai talked backstage ahead of Bayley's match against Asuka. Bayley said that Io Sky needs to defeat Asuka next week in her title match, but Kai responds by asking if Bayley was ready for Asuka tonight despite her focus being on Shotzi. Oh. Asuka defeats Bayley with Dakota Kai. Shotzi appeared from the crowd, scaring Bayley at ringside. Bayley got back in the ring, but Asuka caught her in the backslide for the pinfall on Bayley and Asuka. Yes, nobody's ready for Asuka. Grayson Waller hosted a new episode of the Grayson Waller Effect with John Cena as a special guest. Waller ran down Cena for not being the same since losing to Austin Theory at WrestleMania 39. Cena was ready to attack Waller, but he was interrupted by Jimmy Uso, who called Waller Kangaroo Jack before telling Cena that if he was not going to fight, to get the hell out of his ring. Where Jimmy Uso grew balls, I don't know. Anyways, Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. I guess he went to Impact, talked to Trinity, and got his balls out of her purse. I don't know, before he showed up at SmackDown.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman came to the ring and interrupted the proceedings. Sikoa immediately confronted Cena, but then it would tell Sikoa turned and grabbed Jimmy by the throat. Sikoa then teased hitting the spike on Jimmy, but instead turned and hit a thrust kick on Cena. Uso and Sikoa beat up on Cena before AJ Styles made the save. Styles ties Sikoa out of the ring before Cena hit the 5-knuckle shovel on Jimmy. Sikoa pulled Jimmy out of the ring as Cena and Styles stood tall at the end of the broadcast. So it looks like Cena is going to be around a little bit. Looks like Cena may be doing some more work with the Bloodline. This is SmackDown. Great opening. I think it definitely sets a precedent. I don't know what Tony Khan's going to do. If if this is a one-off for The Rock, it's fine. Not much damage done there. But if The Rock is coming back for any time, or if there's any chance of him building a match towards WrestleMania, the heat is really on Tony Khan to do something. Is that bringing Edge in? I don't know. I don't know if Edge is going to be that big of a needle pusher, especially this late in his career. I think there's a couple matches and a couple things they can do with him. And the other thing is, even if Tony Khan brings Edge in, how many times have we seen Tony Khan bring people in that it hasn't worked? He hasn't really done what he needs to do. But with that being said, we got The Rock on SmackDown, and yeah.
Two biggest pops of the night: The Rock and LA Knight. You can't deny. We already know legendary pop for him. It's great, but you can't deny the pop that LA Knight's getting right now. No matter how much people don't want. Go ahead.
And you still got to give credit, because the third biggest pop of the night had to be for Pat McAfee in the whole opening there.
That's true.
Pat McAfee still gets a damn good pop. For not being a full-time wrestler, I mean, he gets everybody hyped.
And then I watched that show because I got to work, and they always have the Pat McAfee show on.
Yeah.
And The Rock actually made the comment of, "Oh, they're here? I might have to stop by and say hello." So if anyone was watching, kind of figured it was going to happen. Those who didn't, like a lot of people did, enjoyed it.
Well,
but he did make a couple of comments to the tribal chief.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I got on the rants and talked about The Rock might be on SmackDown. We might see The Rock tonight. Rock's open to a match at WrestleMania 40. Maybe this seems where it's going to go. But we got news and rumors on even that factor that we'll get to in a little bit. Anything else that you guys want to talk about?
No, I've never. It's been too long that I've had goosebumps watching SmackDown, and that did it. That hit every note.
All right. moving on to Rampage. Yay. Rampage. Probably a downer. I don't know how many people really could be excited about Rampage after everything that happened on SmackDown, but hey, Rampage. We got the Hardys and the Lucha Brothers. So we got Matt and Jeff with teaming up with Penta El Zero Mino and Rey Fenix. They were able to get over on the Butcher, the Blade, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal. And I don't know why Jeff Jarrett needs to be on my TV every week, but okay. And the crew.
Sharon.
I mean, it's Jeff Jarrett trying to bring back the NWO because it was Jeff Jarrett. We had Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Saddam Singh, Kip Saban, Pelham Ford, The Bunny, and Karen Jarrett, all at ringside.
Main Event Mafia?
Hey, let's give the Main Event Mafia a little more credit. At least they had some talent in there. This group, I see what? I mean, Jarrett's got his talent. He's a little past his prime. I'll give Jay Lethal all his props. But, I mean, I don't know anybody. I haven't seen enough Kip Sabian to make any comments, but most everybody else in here's a what? So, I mean, you Main Event Mafia had more talent. I mean, they had Joe. Joe could have been Main Event Mafia by himself. And, I mean, you know.
Yeah, but Joe's doing his own thing, and I applaud what he's doing right now.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying, how do you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people at ringside for 2 men in the ring?
Hey,
I didn't know. It doesn't even say a lumberjack match. Oh, don't put that jinx in the air. You'll bring that back. Come on. Jarrett comes out and promotes AEW and says that Tony Khan was brilliant from bringing Dennis Rodman in because bringing Dennis Rodman into Collision was as big as WWE bringing back John Cena. Jeff Jarrett said that. Jeff Jarrett said that Dennis Rodman on TV was as big as John Cena coming back. Go listen to his podcast.
I love Jarrett, but no.
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 He bases it on the fact that he's like, but we got more views in that hour of that show, of that segment. The segment Dennis Rodman was on Collision got more views. I'm like, granted, Dennis Rodman was there. You probably got a couple views because people who are old enough to remember Dennis Rodman, the Worm, and NWO probably went over there to see, A, is it going to be anything good, or B, how crappy is this going to be? Like, how bad is it? That's what you got. You either got people who wanted to see Dennis Rodman was still alive, or how bad is this going to actually go, you know? And then when and they probably didn't watch that whole segment because as soon as Jarrett came out to confront Rodman and talk about all times, most people are like, nope, I'm good. I don't need this.
He's too slappy for his own good. He needs to start calling himself slap nuts and call it.
He needs to get slapped. I mean, but anyways, yeah, no, I mean, he's trying to sell Dennis Rodman being as big as Cena coming back, and I'm like, okay, Jarrett, you're smoking. I guess you're smoking weed with RVD in the back now, since RVD's made a new home in AEW. Opium.
Smoking the opium.
He's smoking something if he thinks that's true. Anyways, we get an interview with Britt Baker where she says that on Collision she's going to take on the winner of the TBS Championship match later tonight. On the latest episode of QTV, Johnny TV, Aaron Solo, and Harley Cameron talked backstage. Johnny attacked a random luchador that he brought in. Harley Cameron tried to stab the man, but she was stopped by Johnny TV. Where's QT Marshall in this whole mess? Well, rumors saying
defending the Latin American Championship.
Well, rumors are saying that they extended his contract till the end of the year with AEW because he was working without an AEW contract. And the other rumors is the only reason they actually extended him right now, wanted him under contract, is because WWE has made moves to get QT Marshall to come over to WWE because of a certain American Nightmare.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they work together in the Nightmare Factory, so...
Well, yeah, there's a connection there.
Oh, hey, what's up, Kenny?
Yes.
Hello, Kitty.
We had the Kingdom, Matt Taven and Bennett versus Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal, and I was shocked that Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal still existed in some realms on any program. So, yeah, it was nice to see Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal, the formerly known as Evan Bourne, if you don't know. But anyways, actually, if we want to really throw, yeah, well, if you really want to throw out, you could talk about the higher power in Evan Bourne. But hey, if you know, you know. Anyways, the Kingdom beat Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal, and after the Kingdom cut a promo showing their support for Roderick Strong and his netcast, Taven and Bennett declared that they also have their eyes on the Ring of Honor tag team titles and that they're after Adam Cole and MJF. The only issue I had with this is if Matt Bennett was that worn out, if you heard that man breathing when he was trying to shoot a promo and he's like, I'm like, dude, you go work on your cardio or don't shoot a promo afterwards. Taven was fine, but Mike Bennett was like deep breathing and trying to shoot a promo. I'm like, it's just not a good look. Sorry, bud.
No, this isn't 1990. We don't do that no more.
He was blown up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This ain't 1990. It don't make no sense.
No, he was blown up. I don't know why he was on the mic. It just made him look bad.
Speaking of being on the mic, is Maria? That's what I want to know.
Who?
Maria, their mouthpiece.
His wife.
Who? I don't have a who button. That's what I need, a who button.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways.
I don't know.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, I know Maria Kanellis. I know who you're talking about. But yeah, I just haven't seen her on TV, so I guess it's sad when I can say Karen Jarrett gets more TV time than Maria Kanellis.
Oh.
Anyways, we got the Mogul Embassy of Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana and Brian Cage for interview before they challenged the Elite Adam Page and the Young Bucks, talking about taking on the Hung Bucks at a match at AEW Grand Slam. The Acclaim, Matt Casher and Anthony Bowens with Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn take on Peter Avalon and the Beverly Brothers are back in the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. Tell me they did not look like the Beverly Brothers. Tell me if you didn't take them and go back and find video footage of the Beverly Brothers, they would not look like similar teams. Tell me when I'm telling lies, all right? And where the hell
I'm laughing because
where the hell they get these names? Turbo Floyd? I mean, what is he? Is he a Cars fan? Did he like Lightning McQueen and Truth Magnum? Like, did they really call up 1991 WCW and go, hey, do you guys have any names left over? Did they go find a bag of Dusty Rhodes' old bag gimmicks? Like, did they buy it at auction? Like, pull these names out of something?
Let's not put salt on old Dusty's name because he was a creative genius in his own era. But they probably took a look at the old handbook that Vince McMahon had of occupation names.
Hey, I love Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty Rhodes was American Dream, and he was a talented wrestler. He was a creative genius in his mind in the right eras. But if you go back to early 90s when he was running creative in WCW and some of the weird, bizarre, come on, the Big Van Vader and the White Castle of Doom or whatever it was, and all the other stuff, okay? I mean, I love Dusty. I'm not trying to totally just dog Dusty, but Dusty has a pretty, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Okay. All right. I was trying not to bring it up. I was still trying to, put a good out there for Dusty, but
no, I'm sorry.
Right.
I know Vince had some bad names, but they were job related. Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum sound like they came out of old 90s WCW. These were names I expect to see on WCW Saturday Night TV. Okay, this is bad as what was his name? What was Triple H's name in WCW there?
Terrorizing.
Yeah, terrorizing. There you go. I mean, love Dusty. Dusty was a creative genius. Dusty was one of the best wrestlers of all time. Definitely belongs on our Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. Was creative, did great in, he did great things in NXT. Absolutely helped make stars. But in this era of WCW, whatever was going on there, it was some interesting stuff. And, if you want a good laugh, go back and watch early 90s WCW, and you will find some entertaining wrestling. Hey, you can even go find Johnny Ace coming down on the skateboard as the what were they called? The dudes or the bros or the dynamic bros or I don't know.
Dynamic dudes.
Yes, the dynamic dudes. With Shane Douglas. Yeah, that Shane Douglas. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Extreme Shane Douglas, or Dean Douglas if you want to talk about WWE. But hey, anyways, the Acclaimed with Daddy Ass beat Peter Avalon and the Outrunners. I guess they couldn't use the Blade Runners, which thank God we don't need to get into Blade Runners territory.
No.
After the match, the Dark Order, Evil Uno, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds come out to confront the Acclaimed, and we get a singles match announced where Evil Uno was going to get in the ring to take on Anthony Bowens. But something happened, and we'll get into that in a moment here. Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis defeated Lord Crew and Damian Chambers. Lord Crew and Damian Chambers? Where are they coming up with these names? Is Damian Chambers like the son of Damian Demento or something? And Lord Crew? What the? What?
No, it's Crew.
It's Crew? Okay.
2 enhancement talent, period.
Lord Crew. Is he related to Apollo Crews?
I got nothing.
Does anybody know where Apollo Crews is? I mean, is he still alive? Does he have a heartbeat? Or is Dexter Loomis? Or is Dexter? No, I think he's back on the main roster, if I recall correctly.
He's supposed to be on Raw.
Did like Dexter Loomis start kidnapping all these stars we don't see in TV and have them like locked in some basement somewhere, pulling off some like psycho stuff, and there's going to be like this storyline that's eventually going to come out? Make it make sense, right?
Oh, don't give me ideas. They'll be watching this for it.
Shoes, please.
Oh,
No.
one more.
All right, let's. All right,
All right. Then we got the
all right, fellas.
TBS Championship match: Chris Statlander versus Jay Carhill. Jay Carhill came out looking good. Kurt Statlander defeated Jay Carhill, and after the match, they gave a hug and they stood together in the ring, and it looked like everything is the final match for Jay Carhill. This looked like we're not going to see Jay Carhill back. This looked like because she hugged, she gave a big ol' hug. I mean, Kurt Statlander got down as Jay Carhill was getting up, gave her a handshake and helped her up, and then Jay Carhill more hugged Kurt Statlander originally. So that to me is just saying it looks like Jay Carhill's time in AEW is over because, I mean, why would you be hugging and looking like you're leaving?
Number 30 at Rumble. I'm calling it right now.
In the Women's Rumble.
Yeah.
No, Joshua.
No, duh.
Well, I mean, they could do it. They could make her a Chyna or a Beth Phoenix or a Nia Jax.
No, they have Rhea Ripley for that.
Oh, they got Rhea Ripley too. Yeah, he was in the Men's Rumble. All right. So that was AEW Rampage. Jay Carhill looks like her last match. And any other comments, concerns on that? We'll talk about Jay Carhill in a moment. Or
No, I'm still checking. I still have the dynamic dudes in my head right now. You guys, that's horrible.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
them skateboarding down.
Yeah.
Okay, what about American males? American males, American males, American males.
They were at least a decent tag team for a little while.
Marcus Bagwell was in every tag team with everybody. He was in with like the Patriot, and then I forgot who else he was in a tag team with. I think he was in a tag team with Brian Pillman originally. Then there was the Patriot. Oh, he was in a tag team with Too Cold Scorpio. Then he was in a tag team with Scotty Riggs. Well, yeah. And then you had Buff and the Stuff, and then he was tagged up with Steiner, and then, yeah.
He lost his stuff.
Oh, he loved that stuff. He was so, anyways, no, good luck to Marcus Bagwell. I hope that he's really working on getting his life clean and back on track because, he was a great talent back in the day. It was a damn shame that he couldn't make the transition to WWE, but demons be damned.
Yeah.
I understand he's doing all right for himself now. He's working with DDP. He's keeping himself clean.
Arnold looks good. He looks good.
Hey, I was not mad at him when he was pulling off the Mr. Rogers gimmick. I was like, hey, this would be a great gimmick for him to come back into wrestling. So I wasn't mad about it, honestly. All right. Shall we move on to Collision?
Absolutely.
All right, this is new to me, guys, so go ahead, shoot it.
Here's Collision. So we get the opening with Big Bill. He does the opening. We get the BCC doing their little pre-promo. Britt Baker does hers. Chris Statlander. And then we find out that John Silver has changed, that the contract has been changed. At Dark Order number 1, no, it's Dark Order number 4, John Silver was going to take on Anthony Bowens in a match because he didn't properly read the contract. A lot of speculation on that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus Bryan Danielson and Claudio.
What the bleep was that?
A car. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli. A really good match, a back and forth. Eventually, Big Bill and Ricky Starks get the victory. The Young Bucks and Hangman Page appear on stage. They're up for the Trios match. They want the Trio Championship from the Mogul next week. Hobbs' next chapter is entitled Destruction. He will inflict physical, mental pain. No one is safe. Miro calls Hobbs a son of a bitch. He didn't make him humble, so they have to meet up somewhere down the line. And this is the promise of the Redeemer. And why are we losing everything here?
Redeem these.
And for some reason, he doesn't want to.
I don't care. You come in my face, I'm gonna fight
Don't
you.
bring her up, please. No, she needs to stay off my TV. She's about as bad as the rest of them.
Who?
Yes, she needs to stay off my TV.
CJ Perry.
Oh.
CJ Perry.
Why? CJ Perry's great. I think
Has
CJ
anyone
Perry.
ever
I don't say she needs to
Do
be a
you have her
wrestler.
OnlyFans account?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't find her like that. Like, I'm not into her like that.
I mean, I think she's cute, and I don't care enough to.
Yeah, I mean, she's very beautiful, and I respect her, but I don't care for that. And I don't want to see her wrestle, no, but I think she brings a lot to Miro in the character, and I think Miro needs something to get him to be taken seriously because he's lost a lot of whatever he had, and I think she adds a lot to his character. As long as she's not
if she could go back to being his manager like she was from get-go, from A1 when she started, I'm all for it because he made more sense. He looked legit. It looked really good. She needs to just mouth closed and be his heater, and we're good to go.
I'm just worried about her around Powerhouse Hobbs because you know what happened in WWE when she was around Bobby Lashley. We don't need a repeat of that history.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Poor Bobby.
Poor Bobby. Boy, Miro. Anyways, then we got FTR versus Iron Savage. The FTR gets a brilliant win here. The Iron Savages look decent, other than their weird motorboating and everything. I don't know. Lexi Nair is standing with Keith Lee. We get an interview with Keith Lee, Shane Taylor, and Lee Moriarty come out. Shane Taylor doesn't run. They come face to face. And I guess we're going to get Keith Lee versus Shane Taylor down the road. John Silver has the mic. He Googled scissoring, and you guys are doing it wrong. They claim didn't read the contract. Billy Gunn and Max Caster. Billy Gunn and Max Caster have been banned from ringside. So we get John Silver versus Anthony Bowens. And John Silver picks up a great win in this match. Of course, it was originally supposed to be Evil Uno, but they changed it up. A lot of speculation on that, but we'll get that into a moment. Eddie Kingston doesn't know what to say about him and Claudio on Wednesday. They lived together. Claudio started judging him. Eddie is still standing tall. Claudio left potholes. Everyone else has had to fix. He thought he could fix it at Wembley, but no, win or lose, this is it. Eddie can fix it this coming week. Eddie has always had hopes wherever he goes, so watch out, Claudio. All of New York has his back. Then we get another segment with Orange Cassidy and Hook, who are with Renee Paquette. They're eating some Doritos. Orange wants a tag match with Hook. Grand Slam, Hook's up for it. And here comes Aussie Open for an unscheduled match. We get Aussie Open against Urban, Playboy, and Wes. Aussie Open wins. Enough said. Aussie Open wonder if FTR were paying attention. They got the job done in under 1 minute. They've done almost everything FTR has accomplished, and they're calling their shot on October 1st. At WrestleDream, FTR versus Aussie Open. They want the AEW Tag Team Championships. Toni Storm sits down with RJ City. She worries about the lighting. It's too harsh. She's about to face Saray at Grand Slam. RJ wonders if she's changed. Toni says she's still the same. She's always been, but she's offended by the nearby landscape. And we get crazy Toni Storm some more. I don't know if that's going to work out for her, but we'll play it out.
I enjoy it.
I gotta
What?
share you guys that video of the fans giving her the whole match. It's actually pretty entertaining. Watching her interact with fans at house shows is pretty cool.
Okay, having internet glitches here. Okay, back in here. And then we have Scorpio Sky versus Andre El Idolo. El Idolo's on TV. Andrade's wrestling in a match. Andrade offers a handshake at the beginning of the match. Great match. Both men shot off. Eventually, he rolls up Scorpio through, and then he turns it into a figure 4 out of nowhere, and then to a figure 8 for whatever reason, getting Scorpio Sky to tap out to the figure 8. Andrade El Idolo doing the figure 8. After rumors have speculated that him and Charlotte are on the outs, both of them not been wearing the wedding ring and have disassociated with following each other on Twitter for the 1800th time, from what I understand. But anyways, Andrade El Idolo wins with the figure 8. This leads to Switchblade White coming out to Andrade, saying that, Andrade, you were watching my boys. You were watching the guns. Those are my boys. Jay White sounds good, gives a good promo, and basically challenges Andrade to a match because he didn't like the way Andrade was still staring at his boys. We get a video package of the history of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. Tony is with Shibata backstage. Shibata is coming for Wrestle Dream via text-to-speech Google translation promo. How very Mike Bailey in DDT. I don't know what I missed there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, how very much. Okay, so I guess Shibata tried to use Google Translate to cut a promo, and they're making a joke. Okay. The Hardys versus the Righteous, and the Righteous get a huge win by pinning Jeff Hardy. Definitely setting the Righteous up for what's next. They get on the mic, cut a good promo. It looks like they're coming after the Ring of Honor titles. So watch out, Adam Cole and MJF for the Righteous. Claudio Castagnoli knows Kingston better than he knows himself. Eddie isn't man enough. This will be the last time because Claudio is sick of it. The final chapter next week, Claudio will burn Eddie's dreams down to ashes. Jay White versus Andrade El Idolo is signed for next week. RVD is coming out of the smoke locker room to be back on Collision next week. And the FTR will face the Workhorsemen next week. Shivani is with Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Starks doesn't have a match for Wrestle Dream yet. And he's over it. Starks beats Danielson, but it's not enough. Next week on Collision, Danielson versus Starks in a Texas death match, because why not? And so now it's a TBS championship match. Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker. Good match. Both women give it all. Chris Statlander is able to rears back, getting a pinning combination with the lockjaw still applied. Britt Baker gets the lockjaw in. Statlander turns it into a 1-2-3. Chris Statlander retains the TBS championship. Statlander celebrates. We have a brief mutual show of respect while Julia Hart is shown watching from the crowd as we end tonight's broadcast, and that is AEW Collision. Gentlemen, AEW Collision.
The only thing I really have is that I wish during the Shane Taylor and
Keith Lee,
thank you. During that interview, I wish that they would have brought up the history that Keith Lee used to be in Shane Taylor Promotions in the previous Ring of Honor and really play up on their history.
I think that's the only problem I ever have is they don't bring up the history between certain individuals to help build them up, because you got a lot of these ROH guys coming onto the roster and nobody knows who they are. I have to sit there and explain to my wife, hey, he's actually pretty good. And, it's you have to explain to fans that don't follow it, that who they are and what they're capable of, because the way they're being presented.
Right, it's not our job. It's supposed to be the promotion's job, damn it.
Hey, pay me some money. I will gladly do it for them.
Word.
All right. With that said, let's move into news, rumors, and other topics real quick with this little beat.
Oh, real quick, before we get to that, Texas Death Match. They don't know how to do it until they do it properly. It's just another hardcore.
All right. We threw it a little back 90s there, yes. Little throwback. Anywho. So, Jade Cargill to WWE. It looks like she wrestled her final match in AEW. That's what I would say. Everybody says this is a huge get for WWE. This is going to be a big game changer for WWE. And I look at it and I go, it'll be a change. But I mean, Jade Cargill was nothing more than really a female Goldberg in AEW. She was given the TBS championship. She was made to look good. They hid what, I mean, she's green to a point. But they hid that with everything they did. And I'm like, I don't know if this is as big as a get for WWE, like everybody's trying to make it out to be. Is it a get? Is it a get? Yes. I think Jade Cargill will be a good thing for WWE if they book her and use her right. It's just the same way with Tony Khan. If he uses whoever comes over there right, then yeah, it might be something. But I don't think she's a huge, like, this is a game changer, a needle mover. I don't know what she's done that's made all these people. She had this great run. She went undefeated. She lost one match. She lost her TBS championship to Chris Statlander. Did she disappear for a long time? Came back for her last match, and now she's going to WWE. So it wasn't like there was any follow-through. She wasn't, it's like, okay, she had a great run, but I mean, it wasn't followed up with anything. So I don't know how anybody can buy this as, this is a game changer. This is a big deal. This is huge. Jade Cargill going to WWE. I'm like, it's a decent. I mean, she's part of Cody's camp. It makes sense. Her and Cody, I'm like, she'll be a good get. She'll be something that'll be different on WWE. She'll probably have a different name. We'll see how it plays out and see what she does. But I don't know if this is like this huge get.
Well, it's not. For one, I don't know who's making it a big deal because I sure as hell haven't heard anything of it. You're right. Maybe it's a favor to Cody. Maybe Cody has favors with the company that he asked for before he got signed again.
Well, I don't know if it's a favor for Cody. I'm just saying she knows Cody. I mean, she's she's in Cody's camp.
Well, you get what I'm saying. Like, he was like, okay, hey, he's maybe got the earwig in. Hey, get this person.
Oh, he may, but I know Triple H was already looking at her before, and so yeah, it's gonna be a good get, but I don't think it's this huge gate chamber like some of the bigger boys out there are talking about. Some of these bigger boys out there in the IWC are selling it like, ooh, this is huge. I don't see it.
The whole audience to go, Cargill.
I mean, is it a certain uncle that is making these comments and blowing it up big like that?
It's a lot of the bigger upper echelon people that are making it sound like a big deal. That are selling it that way, at least. It's not just.
I'll call it number 30. If they're gonna do it, it's number 30.
If she's not there sooner, because I mean, it's my understanding is her contract's up. If their contract's up, there's no compete. So, I mean, should they save her from the Rumble? Maybe. Can they use her at Survivor Series? Could they debut her at Crown Jewel? Could they get her anywhere? Yeah. So, I mean, it depends on what they want to do. But it definitely looks like she's out of AEW and WWE bound. But I'm like, she was built like Goldberg. She won the TBS championship. She was built good, but her matches they covered her weaknesses. They did like they did with Goldberg. They played her strength, covered her weaknesses, and I'm like, I don't think she's this huge thing. Will she be able to be developed in WWE? Yes.
Well, that's why I was saying number 30, because you need to give her that time to let her know the basics.
Well, but a lot of people think she's going directly to main roster. I think she'll wind up in NXT. I think she has to learn the WWE way. Even though I know they're trying to make NXT a brand, I think she'll probably
maybe
win
they're bringing her in to be a ring girl for UFC. You never know.
No, because it's WWE. And again, everybody needs to separate. WWE will always be WWE. UFC is going to be... No, because there are so many idiots out there. There are so many idiots who think it's all going to be cross-branded. There's people talking about the WWE is going to start having weight division titles. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. And it's not going to work.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Oh, go look it up. It's all over the place. People are talking about weight division titles.
All right. when we get off air, someone shoot me a link and I'll check it out when I get home.
But WWE is going to keep their titles. UFC is going to be separate. They're owned by they have merged together under a company called TKO. They are owned by Endeavor, but they are still their own entities, and they're going to be their own entities. Now, are they going to be packaged together? Are they going to be sold to cities together? Yes. Are you going to have WWE matches and UFC matches going on at the same time? Yes. Are you going to have cross-branded pay-per-views? No. That stuff's not going to happen. If you see UFC fans going to be wrestling fans? No. Are all wrestling fans going to be UFC fans? No. It's not going to happen. People, get your head out of the clouds. It's just two major companies that came together because Vince McMahon figured a way to stay in power and weasel it all out. That's all this boils down to. He made a deal with Ari Emanuel to get WWE and UFC to merge together under the Endeavor banner, create a new company, which he is the head of the board of directors for TKO. So he is Nick Khan and Dana White's boss right now. Yes, he has to answer
Dana's not with them.
Ari Emanuel, okay. But, no.
Dana got his walking papers already.
Well, a lot of people got their walking papers. Dana Warrior got her walking papers, so.
Oh, yeah, I seen that today too. But Dana White was the first one to get cut after the merger.
Wow.
He's no longer the president of UFC.
That's interesting.
Having the UFC without Dana White.
Yeah, I know.
Strange.
Anyway, I don't know how long the UFC can hold on. I don't know what's going to happen in this new thing. WWE will be fine. It's going to do its thing. Jade Cargill will be a get for WWE, but she won't be this huge get. Other news. Well, it depends on how the package you're making her. Okay, the attendance. The attendance. You guys have heard that there's an issue with the attendance all in. That the borough responsible in London says that only 71,000 or 72,000 people actually walked through the turnstiles at Wembley for all in. That was the number of people who walked through the turnstiles. And the number of 81,035, we don't know where AEW got this number. We don't know how they came up with this number. Is Tony Khan pulling a Vince McMahon? Is he not? This has been huge news. Some people calling Tony Khan directly a liar. Other people saying, well, it all depends. I say it's all a way of wording. You have 71,000 people who came through the turnstiles, but paid attendance was 81,035. So, I think it's all in the wording.
That could be.
Well, to me, it just sounds like...
Way, they had a hell of a crowd. Doesn't matter. They had a hell of a crowd.
Yes, but, here's the thing. I get it. It was a great pay-per-view. They pulled it off. They had a great crowd. But, again, it falls on Tony Khan, and Tony Khan's character is already in jeopardy. And he can't be going out here selling this event as the largest paid attending wrestling event if it wasn't. If people can dock his truth, and Tony Khan is supposed to be the different than Vince McMahon, the credibility of Tony Khan's getting hurt at a time when we're trying to, Tony Khan really needs to make himself look credible, legit, and stuff. Because he's going to lose. He's going to lose people who are like, okay, we're tired of the bullshit.
Yeah.
Other news. Last night, guess who was at CFFC? Yes, Cage fighting Fury, something. I forget what it all is. I'd have to look it up. CFCC 125 saw the return of Phil Brooks, CM Punk, with cause, as they said. He was there with cause. And they made some brief jokes. And CM Punk said that he has some free time on his hands for the next 2 months. So what in the world could that mean? Well, we know November 25th is going to happen in Chicago in the United Center, a Survivor Series, and that's 2 months.
Did you know that someone tried to go on the limb and say that he has a non-compete clause?
We don't know if he doesn't have a non-compete clause. We don't know the final definition of him being fired, what with cause means, and how that plays out. Now, it's been looked into by Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp that WWE, if you are fired with cause in WWE, you have a 1-year non-compete clause. So,
oh wow,
we don't know, but that's been reported. Nobody knows what the truth in this is. And Punk really hasn't came out and done anything, which is kind of surprising. I guess we're kind of waiting it out. I think the legal end is going to be the big thing. But maybe Punk doesn't care. Maybe Punk ain't going to do anything. He's going to show up in WWE because this was his plan all along. Will he be at Survivor Series? Is it totally something else that's going to get him tied up in too much? He could be writing another comic book, doing another movie. Who knows? Is he going to be WWE bound? Could be. Hey, are we going to hold our breath? I don't know. I guess we could be like Wrestle Talk and go, CM Punk WWE confirmed. Yeah. Okay. No.
He'll come back like he did last time and on a third-rate show at a weak hour of the night.
But they don't have Fox to pay for it because SmackDown is done. Fox is done with WWE. Fox will not be renewing SmackDown.
Maybe he'll end up on Spike TV. I don't know.
Well, that would depend. Do you want Disney to own TV rights to WWE?
No.
Is Spike TV even out there? Isn't Spike TV FX now? Or Spike TV?
It's
yeah, okay.
So I was just making a joke of he'll end up on somewhere.
Well, I mean, WWE, yes, USA Network was on TNN, and then it became Spike TV, which is now FX, which is now owned by Disney. And Disney is one of the big bidders to get SmackDown, and the other big bidder is Amazon, which would really change the game of wrestling if Amazon is the one that gets SmackDown.
Well, Amazon reached out to Tony Khan last time I checked, and he said no. And I was like, well, that was an idiot move.
Well, and then he's working with WB, and it looks like they may be going to Cinemax for whatever reason.
Cinemax still exists?
Yep. The Max, Cinemax, whatever it is. It looks like they may wind up Cinemax.
As a streaming service, it's just Max. The channel itself, I think, still Cinemax.
But yeah, it looks like they are. It's owned by Warner Brothers, so it looks like they may put AEW on there. And if they do that, then AEW is pushing for 12 pay-per-views a year now, also. So there you go. I hope you have. What is that? What is that? $600 or $720 or something, or $60? Six. Yeah, that's $720 a year to pay for AEW pay-per-view events.
I barely have the money to order the few that I get because I'm used to getting it for free.
And there's talk that WWE may be changing their pay-per-view schedule around, and they're streaming things because, now under the new company, it's all about making money. So, I don't know. We may see...
Go back to 4 pay-per-views a year. I'd be fine with
that. I would say 5 or 6 at least. I would say you have the main 4, but you need a King of the Ring. You need something for a filler in the middle. You can have Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam, but you need a King of the Ring or something, a 5 or 6 in the middle.
Okay, yeah, you got a point there. Well, actually, let it include the one in Saudi, so you'll just be the King of the Ring.
Well, I can't wait till the Saudi deal's over. That'll be nice. But, yeah, there's talks that WB wants AEW to do 12 pay-per-views a year now, so we may be seeing more pay-per-views coming out of AEW moving forward.
Is there any room in that WCW grave that's been dug up a long time ago?
Hey, Tony Khan is just taking chapters out of WCW. It's like he owns the WWE network, but he doesn't watch the WWE side. He just watches the WCW side and takes notes. And TK, tell me... I was going to say...
Here's another one, too. If there is a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match, then we know who's really running the show.
Oh.
So you mean Jeff Jarrett's going to put Karen Jarrett on a forklift, and yeah, there you go. Or is she just going to have to stand on the shoulders of Saddam Hussein, because that would be the same height, right?
There you go.
Yeah, not there. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, anywho, I don't know. Tony Khan, tell me when I'm telling lies. I think you need to get somewhere back around and get some of this respect back. And I'm sorry. I think Tony Khan is really going to be in hot water. So, anyways, on the Pat McAfee show, The Rock came out. Pat McAfee and The Rock exchanged some words. They brought up WrestleMania and The Rock versus Roman Reigns. In that interview, The Rock said that the WrestleMania 39, thanks to Nick Khan. Nick Khan got The Rock and Vince McMahon together. They sat down. They had some tequilas. They had a big hug. And at the end of it, it was locked in for WrestleMania 39, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. It was going to happen. The only thing was The Rock said he wanted it to be special. He wanted it to be something special for the fans, something special for the boys and the girls in the back, that he wanted to create a new era, that he wanted it to be a game changer, that he wanted it to be something special. The only reason this match didn't happen was because they couldn't come up with anything. By the time it got to that point, they had not came up with the magic that The Rock wanted to find to make it really worth something other than just doing the match. So The Rock said, but hey, there's WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. The Rock has thrown out that he is interested in wrestling Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Now, with that said, WWE shows interest, but the WWE also has come out through sources, through uncles, if we want to call them that, and says that the plans for Cody are not going to change, that they are their main storyline is the Cody storyline. They do not want to drive. And also with everything, if you watch the Pat McAfee show and listen to everything The Rock said, not just the high points of, I want a match at WrestleMania 40. If that's what you heard, you're wrong, okay? Go back, watch it again. If you listen to everything The Rock said, and this is what it is about wrestling, if you don't freaking listen to everything that's said and only take the high points or the little bit of points and be like, oh, he's coming back to wrestling, then you're ignorant. And yeah. Anyways, The Rock said he wants to come back and make something special. The Rock's not going to come in to WrestleMania 40 and step on anybody's shoes. If there's a big storyline going in, and the Rock isn't going to step on Cody's shoes. The Rock does not want to steal that light from Cody. So I don't know if anything is going to happen at WrestleMania 40. If it does, I would say Roman and The Rock night 1, Cody night 2 to win the title in the main event where it should be. I think if you push the Cody-Roman matchup earlier to Rumble, yes, you can do it, but I think it loses a lot of that luster because Rhodes needs to win that world title at WrestleMania. That's where it needs to be. That's what the story is because we want to finally see a Rhodes as a world champion, and Cody's worked too hard. So that's what I would assume if they get The Rock back. But go ahead.
Oh, sorry, brother. My thing is this: don't make them. You're right. If it happens, it needs to happen on night 2. It needs to be the one to close the entire weekend. It needs to finish it. Him and Cody, they need to go out with a bang. Let it be the big pyro at the end of the night. That's how it needs to end. If they put it on night 1, they killed it.
Well, I think you can have Roman beating The Rock night 1 and make Roman look strong. After you have Roman crack, you build up to WrestleMania. Solo Sikoa finally ditches Roman. You have The Rock come out around Royal Rumble or after Rumble and say, look, you destroyed our family. You took it down. And now I'm going to take you out. He goes into WrestleMania night 1. Roman overcomes The Rock. Now you've given Roman this echelon of looking like, okay, Roman's a badass. The end of the story may not be here. And then you can have Cody. The rub that Cody would get not only the rub from a John Cena and everybody else that's given him the Brock Lesnar rub, the John Cena rub, he would be through Roman getting the rub of The Rock too, because Roman would beat The Rock. That would make Roman look incredibly strong, and then Cody beating The Rock. I mean, that would solidify as Cody is the man going forward on WWE TV, and that's really what they need to do.
But if they do it that way, we'll like it.
Here's the other end to it. If The Rock starts coming back on WWE TV, Tony Khan is going to be in a bad spot because Tony Khan is going to have to do something to compete because he's going to lose eyes and he already is. WWE's already turning that table. AEW had the table turned, but all of a sudden that table is turned heavy. AEW ticket sales are down. AEW TV ratings are down. And people are going to WWE because that's where the storyline is. And if they get Rock on a 3-month, 4-month, 5 or even 6 months, I don't know what Tony Khan does. AEW.
Too. I was telling somebody this is what it is. That writer strike that's going on right now is a big boom, and it's leaning in W's favor right now. Mm-hmm. WWE's sitting nice because of this strike, and they're capitalizing on it all front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless you ask Jeff Jarrett, then Dennis Rodman is a needle mover.
I'll make sure next time I'm on camera, I'll wear my needle mover shirt, my Roman shirt. We all know what's going on.
But what does Tony Khan do? I mean, is Edge the needle mover that everybody's making Edge to be at? I mean, Adam Copeland,
No.
It's a big name, but he's late in his career, and I don't know what you do with him in AEW other than teaming with Christian, build a storyline for them to take on FTR, and that's it. I don't need to see Adam Copeland as a world champion in AEW. And AEW, what they're not doing right now is they're not building their homegrown talent. They're not building the people they have there. They're letting Jay Cargill go, which would have been a great talent, and she should have been brought back in, had a really good match with Chris Statlander, attacked Chris Statlander after the match, and then been like, I'm going for that women's championship. I'm coming after Sheree. Built her to continue to be dominant. They lost that. You have Sammy Guevara dancing around with Trish Jericho in a just a routine that doesn't seem to build either of these guys anywhere.
The only one that's doing business and doing it right is MJF. That's
it.
Going for right now.
And Adam Cole's momentum is slowly dying, being attached to it. The storyline's great, but I'm just like, you're getting to the point, and then you add in the Roddick Strong bull crap with him going, Adam, and you're just like, the cringe. And I get, cringe heel heat and trying to get the heel heat, and it is one thing, but it's not working in this, and it doesn't. And again, a whole lot of it doesn't make sense because your commentary team is not connecting all the pieces about the kingdom and everything else. They're not putting it all together to help it make sense. But the big thing here is how many people really want to see Adam Cole win now? I mean, Adam Cole's kind of losing that luster being the sidekick to MJF, and MJF is kind of outshining Adam Cole.
I was going to say, Paul, you agree with me on this one, and I've read it too. You bring Prince Nana out the few times that he has, no one knows who he is. No one's explaining who he is, not understanding that he's actually really good.
I mean, Grant, he's entertaining when he comes out with Swerve and does a little dance, but you're right, as far as the full potential of who he is and what he can do, they haven't scratched the surface.
Is it me, or is Swerve looking like he's getting a little chunky and out of shape? Like, I think he looked better in WWE, and recently he just looks kind of chunky and not.
Same thing with Adam Cole. Adam Cole looked like $1 million, and then the incredible shrinking Cole. I mean, you know how this is going.
And here's the other thing Tony Khan's in deep trouble with. Tony Khan doesn't have anybody for after Adam Cole and MJF. Who is next?
Do we have any waiting music for this? I can't think of anything.
Well, we know MJF's going to take on Samoa Joe. This will be a good match. But again, we know MJF's going to win somehow. Continue storyline. We know it's MJF and Adam Cole got to end this story at somewhere, somehow. One of them is going to turn on the other one, which is actually starting to get to the point where we're like, okay, let's just do it. But the other fact is when you get done with this story, where do you go with both these guys next? Where does Adam Cole go? Where does MJF go? There is nobody that we're seeing right now that's being positioned in a place to be next.
Yeah.
Hell, we're getting more attention and more excitement about the trios tag titles.
Well, it's because they look great. You see the cost of them?
Well, I know, but I mean, they're the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass have gotten those titles more over than really the AEW World titles right now. It's like we love MJF and he's doing great with it, but there's more going on like in the trios area.
Oh, there's more going on in the tag team division.
Yeah. Well, and FTR's doing great, but I mean, it's at the same time. Does AEW have a tag team that you can see really being the competition? Well, I guess if Aussie Open is going to be it, it could be. And it's like,
if you do it right, the Gun Boys will be good too.
Yes. No, but I mean, they even got more competition in Ring of Honor tag team titles than the AEW World title.
Oh, right. Someone needs to sit Tony down and have a nice heart-to-heart with him and let him know what he needs to do.
Tony needs to give up the booking.
Why hasn't Arn Anderson done that yet?
Because Arn Anderson, maybe rumors circulating, Arn Anderson may be waiting his contract out so him and Brock can leave because somebody in WWE that's buddy with Arn Anderson wants Brock Anderson in WWE.
Which is fine, but some parting gift words would be nice so Tony can do what he has to do. Even if
Tony needs to give up. Tony needs to give up the book. Quit fanboying. Yeah. This isn't. What's that game we used to play on the computer? The internet fed. That one where you. What was that game? There was a game on the computer.
Win a title?
No, there was a booking game Paul got me into years ago.
Promotion
Oh,
Promotion Wars, yes.
I did that too.
Yes. And apparently Tony Khan did maybe a similar game. I don't know if it was that game, but that's what he used to do, he said. That's how he learned how to book and stuff. And I'm going, this ain't Promotion Wars. This isn't this game anymore, Tony Khan. This is real life. These are real stars. And
I got nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. He's gonna let it. He's gonna blow it. We had a really good chance at having another wrestling promotion, and as quick as it came, it's gonna go away.
Tell me, yeah.
is AEW going to go the way of TNA?
Well, considering Impact Wrestling's still around.
I can't knock Impact because they're doing great.
I said TNA. I didn't say anything about Impact. Impact has been different since when they got away from the name TNA and got away from Dixie, and then they've got where they are now. They've gotten better. Yes, they are getting better. They're becoming something that's kind of reasonable and have some talent and some names over there and making some momentum. But otherwise, I'm like, and of course, there's the cockroach that just says it's going to die for whatever reason. They find a way. They've had like they've had 7 of their legs detached, but they're still going. You know, they're still like
Yeah.
You know, it's like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's only a flesh wound. Come here, I'll bite your ankles off. If you don't know, go watch that movie.
Hey, points for mentioning that. I love that movie.
Oh, you didn't know?
So, but I mean, Impact is the cockroaches that's not going to die of professional wrestling. But I mean, I don't know where AEW and Tony Khan go, and Tony Khan is he's kind of walking this delusional thing. He thinks he's like the best at all this stuff, and I'm like, domestically, he's losing everything right now. Domestically, everything's down. Overseas, he's good, but domestically, he's dying. And the videos just this week of SmackDown and the video of I think Dynamite and the attendance is bad. And yeah.
Hey, like I said, I'm going next month. I'll live stream it. I'll show you what the attendance looks like if you guys want me to.
So no, it's not. I don't know if you can live stream it, but I mean we can record it and put it up.
Hey, I'll take pictures and send it. And we'll talk about it.
So, but I mean, I want to love TK. I want to love AEW. AEW has some great wrestling. Yes, it's a little different than WWE. They shy away from more of the storylines to more good wrestling matches, but at the same time, they've got to build this bridge. And then it's like Tony Khan and his favorites. I know Vince has his favorites, okay? Don't start going down there. Oh, Vince has his favorite. Yes, but Vince doesn't do it like Tony puts his favorites on the TV all the time. And I'm sorry. I know.
Vince doesn't.
Huh?
You think Vince doesn't?
Vince does, but it's not as obvious, I feel like. Tony Khan makes it very obvious. Like, if you're in favor with Tony Khan, you're on every show. If you're not that great, you're on one show. And I know some of us look.
Pay attention more to the main event, guys.
Yeah.
That's where his attention was, as opposed
True.
to the whole card. So I'll give you that.
True. And I know some people love Jeff Jarrett on every TV show, but I'm kind of like, why is Jeff Jarrett taking up every space when there's younger talent that could be there? And the Jeff Jarrett Army.
Orange Cassidy.
But Orange Cassidy, at least they've given us a reason to have Orange Cassidy on there. At least Orange Cassidy was defending the international title. Granted, I'm not a big fan of defending a title on every show every week. Like, this is what you build your pay-per-views on. But Orange Cassidy was really over, and they were building heat for him. Jeff Jarrett just is there, and it's like, I get he can be there, but I'm like, does he need to be on every show, on every episode, doing everything, and the Jeff Jarrett freaking army that's growing behind him now?
Yeah.
At least though, they're tag matches mostly, and not singles matches. So it's not all about Jeff Jarrett as a singles person.
No, but and also what I see hurts.
On my TV.
The big thing for me is I feel like it hurts Jay Lethal because Jay Lethal has so much talent. Why is Jay Lethal not in a Ring of Honor title match? Why is Jay Lethal not somebody being built up for an AEW World title shot or a TBS title shot? He seems to be tied to Jarrett.
Let's call a spade here. It's not just Tony Khan you got to worry about. There are other individuals that have.
We know it's all fringe. It's all fringe wrestling. If you're not in the fringe group, then you get fired with cause. I mean, you get banned to your own.
I am afraid for my life. Remember that. When you got ball
Here we go.
into the abyss. That's where he went.
He fell off the edge of the planet there. I don't know.
You see, you shoot stars, right?
Hey, let's talk about somebody nobody talks about. Where in the world is Jack Perry? Oh, where in the world is Jack Perry?
Who?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think you can be. I don't think I have to feel bad for him. I mean, look, he gets to go sit at home and wait for Anna J to come home. So I mean, he gets to be the housekeeper and wait for mommy to come home. So I mean, I think that's a win for him. I mean, what can he complain about? I'm not wrestling. Ooh, okay.
Money. He's getting paid while he's sitting at home.
Anna J's become the breadwinner of that house. Like that's a bad thing. Like, I mean, what can he have to complain about? Oh, I can't work. Okay, I get to go home to Anna J. Who do you go home, Tony Khan?
So he's at home with the pink nightie on. Is what you're saying?
Something like that.
Wow.
Jack Perry is putting on. He's at home in bed in his underwear and a 90s black leather jacket, trying to pull off his best Dylan McKay impression when Anna comes home.
No. Oh, no. Can I ask a quick question since we're BSing right now? Io Sky.
I don't even know if that's PG.
And her title, and she has the title right now, right?
Yes.
WWE Women's Champion, yes.
Is that the women's champion or the world champion? I forget. No, she's the WWE. She's the WWE Women's Champion. Rhea Ripley's the WWE World Women's Champion. Because why not make
the World Heavyweight Women's Champion? Whatever.
Are we all in agreement that she needs both belts?
Well, yes.
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 Because we all saw that picture.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Oh.
What was she wearing? Like the Stardom Championship and some other.
It was the white belt, the princess belt.
You're falling off on sound, Paul. You're falling off on sound.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say much either.
No, he's thinking about 2 belts.
2 belts, Io Sky.
That's cool, but Io.
Yeah.
Oh, Io. How you doing? What you got to say? And I should have done this when Paul fell over. Oh, this is what Rusev had to say.
I don't care. You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Oh. I got nothing. Don't mind the light. They actually turn on the light. It's still hella blurry. It's a late night.
You must unlearn
Yeah.
what you have learned.
Good.
Oh, how about I got this one for you.
You want to do a wrestle?
Oh, all right, gentlemen. Are we good? I think we've beaten this bush. Well, maybe not Io's bush. Well, no, we won't talk about Io's bush. But anyways, moving on.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Do we know if they're? No. We'll just.
No. Let's just go. Let's. Are we good? We're good.
We'll stop before we're doing the death mark.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyways, yes, that picture was worth 1,000,000 words, but hey,
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Value of Wrestling. And until the next episode, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that wonderful stuff below. Please subscribe. We're growing. We're ready for number 25 to join us. Let's try and reach 100 by next week because, hey, why not? Let's make goals that are lofty and ambitious because, that's what we should do. Anyways, we will be back next week. Hopefully it'll be a little better of a show. We'll sit down and we'll discuss everything that's going on in wrestling. Of course, you do want to go ahead and hit that bell for notifications because we're all bringing out new programs. Of course, you got Miguel Z, our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert out there doing the Spotify thing. So if you go over there, it's in the link below. You can click and join him on the Spotify. I think I just got back on Twitter, so you can find us all on Twitter. Yes.
Oh,
Big Tyme, VOW on Twitter. Yes. We can all connect. And Mr. Paulus Clarke over here bringing new videos and new content to the platform. So you want to ring the bell so you can be alerted to that. And, of course, every Saturday night after Collision, usually unless there's a pay-per-view. So I don't think the next big night will be until October 7th. We may have to postpone the weekly roundup depending on how everything goes because October 7th will be Fastlane. If there's going to be a pay-per-view, I'm not sure. I haven't heard any matches for it. But with that said, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, ring that bell for notifications. There's always new content. Like this week, I came out with 4 or 5 Big Tyme rants because news kept dropping. There's news and rumors. There's going to be news and rumors that roster cuts are coming. So maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, we may have some big roster cuts coming. And everybody's putting out new information, new platform stuff. We are building. So make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're liking, ringing that bell. Drop your comments below because we'll read them. Well, if we like them or not, that's a whole different story. But hey, we're not worried. We're here. We're having fun. This is the value of wrestling. We thank you for joining us. Let me get us out of here on that note. Yes, we are out in 5.
Oh, man. All right, fellas. That was good.
This
I need
is
to
the
get
value
off
of
of this
wrestling.
so I can get back to the flat game. And we'll cut it.
Wrestling. The revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Material.
I'm going to roll it out tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to finish recording tonight when I get home because I was having some audio issues, and then I'll be rolling that out. It'll talk to everything that we need to keep updated.